Did you know that the tradition of the Easter bunny as we know it originated in Germany? And over there they called it Osterher, which translates as Easter hare. Now, this tradition came to America in the 18th century. However, Nabi and I are thinking that the eggs that we're interested today are deviled eggs. So come over and find out what's happening in my kitchen. Hi, I'm Marco Ayala, and welcome to another edition of In the Kitchen with Across the Fence. As you can tell, we are ready for Easter. I have my little bunny family here, all my decorations, and I even have my bunny ears because Easter is one of those really fun holidays that I very much enjoy. I'm going to take them off right now. However, the thing that I really like about Easter is that it gives us the opportunity to get together with family, be together, and share good food. So I want to share some of my recipes, but also give them a little bit of an Easter twist, because this specific holiday is perfect for this idea that I have. Because could you imagine if we combined deviled eggs with Easter dyed eggs? Well, turns out that it can be done. So let me show you this beautiful Caesar salad Easter eggs. Look at these little eggs. They're different colors, and I know that they look slightly concerning because you're probably thinking, Marco, are those plastic? Or how did you get those eggs to get that beautiful, vibrant color? And well, it's very easy. So stay with me so I can show you how. To a saucepan with water over medium-high heat, you're gonna add 6 eggs. Let them boil for about 10 minutes. Then you're gonna remove them from the heat, place them in an ice bath, and let them rest for a few minutes. One by one, you're gonna take them out and carefully peel them. Once they're all peeled, you're gonna cut them in half, remove the egg yolks, and set them aside. Now we're gonna get to the fun part, which is making sure that the egg whites have these beautiful vibrant colors. And believe it or not, this is very easy, and it's something you can do with the kids because they'll probably love it because it's always fun to decorate your food. To 3 separate glass dishes, you're gonna add about 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon white vinegar, and about 10 drops of the colors of your choice. In this case, I'm using red, blue, and to my last dish, I added some yellow and a little bit of red to create an orange color. Then you're going to evenly divide the egg whites into the dishes with the color water and let them rest for about 5 minutes. Another thing that is really important is to not let your eggs sit in the water for too long. Leave them there for 3 to 5 minutes. Check them then, make sure that they absorb some of that color, and then remove them from the water, set them aside, and pat them dry with a paper towel. This will ensure that the outside of the egg is evenly dyed, but it doesn't change the texture or the flavor of your eggs. Then you're gonna take the egg yolks that you set aside, and with a fork, you're gonna mash them until they become very powdery. Then you're gonna add 1/4 cup mayo, and you're gonna whip it well. Next, you're gonna add 1/4 cup Caesar dressing and mix it well. Then you're gonna take 1 teaspoon Dijon mustard, mix it well, and finally you're gonna add some black pepper. And on this occasion, I decided to use this Caesar deviled egg recipe. However, you can always use your basic recipe. The other option is that if you still want to make it Caesar, but you don't want it to be too strong, you can add the Caesar dressing in small increments and taste it in between to make sure to get it to the point where your family is going to really like it. Then you're gonna transfer your filling into a pastry bag with a star tip, and you're gonna pipe it into the hollow parts of the eggs. And optional, you can decorate it with a little piece of lettuce. At the end, we're just going to add a little bit of paprika here. So I hope you try this recipe. I think this is perfect for spring. To serve them here on my little deviled egg plate, I added a little bit of salad in the middle so you can have it along with your egg. So, okay, now let's move on to our next recipe. Now, I've mentioned many times that I have a small household. As much as I love ham, the only problem with those beautiful spiral hams is that you have a lot of leftovers and you end up eating ham for weeks. So if you have a small family like mine, I think that this recipe is perfect for you. And this is ham steaks with a maple glaze. And this looks absolutely delicious. You should smell it. It smells great. And it's a recipe that, it's actually very economical and it's perfect if you're going to have a small gathering for Easter. So let me tell you how to make it. First, you're going to set a large skillet over medium heat and you're going to add 1 tablespoon butter. Once the butter is melted and the skillet is hot, you're going to add 2 to 4 boneless ham steaks. You're going to let them cook until they're nicely brown on both sides. Once all your ham steaks are cooked, you're going to remove them from the heat and you're going to cut them in quarters. Then you're going to transfer your ham pieces to a greased large pan. Then you're going to take some canned pineapple rings, cut them in half, and place them on top of each of your ham steak pieces. In this case, because I use only 3 ham steaks, they fit perfectly into a 9 by 13 inch dish. If you make 4, you're going to need a bigger dish. However, you want to make sure that it's a taller pan because guess what? Now we're going to add this beautiful maple glaze. To a small saucepan, you're going to add half a cup maple syrup, 1/4 cup packed brown sugar, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar, and 1 teaspoon Dijon mustard. Place it over medium heat and mix it well. Let it boil until it becomes foamy and pour it over your ham steaks. Finally, you're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And just that easily, you have a perfect ham dinner that will go great in this little dish that we had started there with some salad. This is a very inexpensive and easy way to make an Easter dinner. Okay, so now let's move on to our last recipe. You guys know how much I love decorating food and how much I really enjoy making desserts that look cute. As I was looking through my recipes, there are a ton of recipes that have these cute little bunnies, but a lot of them involve a lot of time decorating. So I wanted to make something that was a little simpler because, well, we're already decorating the eggs. So I figured let's save some time and make these Easter bunny cookies. And they look so cute. I think that the family is really going to enjoy them, but they don't take a ton of time to decorate because they're just pieces of chocolate that are imprinted there to look like a little Easter bunny. So if you're curious on how to make them, stay with me because you're going to realize they're so easy. First, before getting started, you're going to take 1 bag pastel color M&Ms and you're going to separate them by colors. Then you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then to a large bowl, you're going to add 1 cup softened butter. And with an electric mixture, you're going to start making sure that it's nice and creamy. Then you're going to add 1 large egg, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups sugar, and you're going to mix it until it's nice and creamy. Then to a separate bowl, you're going to add 2.5 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, and half a teaspoon salt. Whisk it well to combine evenly, and then in increments, you're going to slowly pour it into the mixer until you have a nice dough. This is a basic cookie recipe. However, at this point you can add other ingredients that your family will like. So if you want to add, say, mini chocolate chips, or maybe white chips, cranberries, toffee bits, nuts, you can customize this recipe to whatever your family is going to like best. Then, with a small cookie scoop, you're going to take the equivalent of 2 tablespoons of cookie dough. Roll it with your hand and place it into a prepared cookie sheet that has been lined with parchment paper. Then you're going to lightly press the cookie dough with the back of a measuring cup. Then you're going to bake your cookies for 10 to 12 minutes or until the tops spring back when touched. And once your cookies come out of the oven, you're going to take your M&Ms and you're going to place 1 flat for the face of the bunny and 2 perpendicular for the bunny ears. Now be very careful because the cookies are hot. So I hope you give these cookies a try because they're very easy to make, and really, how cute are these? And once you customize them to whatever your family likes, they're going to be even better. So these are my recipes for this Easter. So whether you like deviled eggs, you want some ham, or you want some cookies, the recipes, well, you can find those in the Across the Fence website that you can see on your screen right now, because there's always recipes there that I'm pretty sure that you're going to enjoy and that you're going to want to share with your family and friends. And speaking of sharing, make sure to share these recipes and this show with your family and friends by liking us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram or subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can get all the content from Across the Fence right in your phone or your computer. So, having said all that, I hope that you enjoy your Easter. Have a great time with the family, with friends, and have fun cooking. And I am going to have one of these deviled eggs because they look so good. Delicious. And join us here tomorrow after the noontime news for another visit Across the Fence.